Hello, everybody. Uh, hmm. It's not zero
Mm.
interest inning. Where is it?
We're
Change the name.
doing, I guess,
It
Ruby
was. It
reviews or
was
something.
full interest. Was the plan for the new name?
Yeah, full interest.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We don't
we'll
have an
we'll
intro
we'll
prepared.
we'll have a proper intro later, I guess.
Later. Sure.
Yeah.
Uh. Yeah. So I literally got back from RTX London about 4 hours ago. So
Hmm.
I didn't. Um, so what we're going to be doing is we did reviews for every episode of Ruby from Volume 1 through Volume 4. Some were good, some were not so good. Um, I am a super fan. Zero was not interested in the slightest after watching like 4 episodes previously, and then basically I forced him to sit through the entire show from start to finish.
Yeah. And my current opinion of it is it's pretty enjoyable, I
Mm.
guess.
I bludgeoned him with it until he liked it. So, probably don't do that
Y-
to people you know, because that's probably a bad thing to do, people.
Yeah, no, that normally doesn't work.
But in this case, it was to zero, so it was fine. Don't worry about it. So,
That
uh,
can take a few hits.
yeah. So, um, now that we've done all that, and zero is interested, I guess it has his
Yeah.
interest, you could say. Um, we can now do these
Now we're
reviews
changing
timely.
up. Yeah.
I should explain the release schedule for these. So, Rooster Teeth are releasing these episodes uh, in sort of stuttered fashion. So the episode will release for first members on the Rooster Teeth site on the Saturday. Then
Hmm.
on Tuesday for, I believe, just any member of the site. So if you sign up on Rooster Teeth, you will be able to see the episode for free. And then it goes up on
Yeah.
YouTube on the following Saturday, if memory
Hmm.
serves. So what we're going to do is we're going to release these review episodes on the Tuesday because at that point you can just go and watch the fucking episode. There is literally nothing stopping you. Bar like
Yeah.
a 30-second sign up. Zero did it today. Okay? He did it before we started this episode, so you can do it. It's easy. Right?
Hmm.
Right. So
Yeah. It's really not that hard at all.
yeah.
So you can just do that.
Yeah. So just sign up on the site, watch there, and then come back and watch these reviews because we have commentary and insights, and occasionally we won't have the technical hiccups that we seem to be having now where all the audio gets fucked up and roboty. So that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be releasing these at usual release time, which is midday Pacific
Hmm.
on Tuesdays, is when these are going to come out. Same time as the podcast.
Yeah. And change up the formula so it's not just we don't have to save it to just one person trying to summarize it. We can actually both help out without having to restrain ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will
Yeah.
be a teamwork review.
Yeah.
Gonna go over what happened in the episode, what our thoughts on it were,
Yeah.
the works. Yeah.
So we're probably not going to jump straight into the first episode. We're going to do a little bit of talk about the uh, snippets, the trailers that they did. They did one for Weiss, which Zero actually pointed me to.
Yeah, I saw the Weiss one.
Yeah, he saw it
I
before I
saw
did,
the
which was surprising.
yeah. Also, Weiss confirmed to be in Cross Tag Battle.
Yeah, that's a thing that happened too. I found out
Yeah.
about that at RTX and yeah, and such. Really sucks that I missed the panel for Ruby, but oh well.
Uh,
Yeah, that made me sad. But yeah, so the Weiss trailer was flashback to Weiss basically being trained by Winter. Winter summoning a bunch of Snowgrim and attacking her with them, and that was
mhm.
about it.
Yeah, it was
Winter
just kind of
denigrates her for, you know, uh, kind of just Winter save me kind of thing, and Winter's like, you can't do that when I won't be here from now on, and you won't have me to protect you from the Grim or from Father and such.
mhm.
So, yeah, that's pretty much all there was to that one, if memory serves. Do you remember anything else from that?
Weiss one was pretty plain. Looked nice. Was pretty plain. I mean, she's summoning more of that night, and I like that night.
Well, it was a flashback, so she wasn't summoning the night.
Yeah, I know, but like, I want to see more of that summon night later in the future. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all I'm concerned about with Weiss right now, because it's
Yeah.
really cool.
She's kind of at the end of an arc, a character arc, so that's pretty much all we have that's particularly interesting about her right now.
Yeah,
I don't know why
and
my
that's
camera's
fine.
flashing her now. Oh well, it's fine.
That's fine. It's a character arc that took a long time to really start to complete, and there's probably still more you can do with her father, with her going against her father. But that you can save that for later. Right now, I just want to see Weiss in the present with a cool stand that she summons.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Then I don't think Ruby got one, to be honest. If memory serves.
don't.
I don't remember seeing one.
I'm sure there might have been one.
Oh well, there was a Blake one.
Yeah. I never saw the full Blake one. I saw part of it.
The Blake one was basically Blake chasing Ilya, the chameleon girl, through menagerie and failing to catch her. And we get a voiceover backstory of Ilya, I want to say in Atlas Academy, I think. And she's doing great and everything. She just has to hide who she is. She can't change her skin color, which is her faunus trait. And then she hears about something terrible happening. I think it was a mine collapse or something. And she's like not taking it well. And her school friends are like, fucking stupid faunus. They're shitty and they got what they deserved or something. They're just animals. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't care. And she freaked out and changed colors and attacked them. Then she wasn't in Atlas Academy anymore.
Yeah, presumably. The Yang one was Yang and Ruby kind of doing some training before Yang goes off to Beacon, just before Ruby got confirmed that she'd be going to Beacon as well.
Frankly, this is the one that was probably the most important for the episode that we're going to be talking about today. Just very specifically.
Yeah.
So, I'll let you do this one because I did the last. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Yang is training with Ruby. They're, punches, and then Yang's going all kung fu and trips and tries to punch at Ruby, and then Ruby speeds away into the bushes. And Yang's like, good one, Ruby. All right, now come out.
Yeah. It's establishing here that, there was a reason she sucked when she was trying to fight Roman in the underground when it was hand-to-hand, because she's shit at hand-to-hand is the reason. Yeah, she's just not good at it. So.
So then she gave Aurora to Ursa Major, I believe. The Grim that comes out.
Yeah.
And so she goes and she's like, "Oh no, Ruby!" And so she fights the thing, and it's all cool and actiony, and we get to see Yang in her old clothes but in a new style, and Ruby as well. I think it's kind of an interesting. Yeah. I like that we got to see their old clothes and the new stuff for each one of them. But she goes and she fights the Grim, beats it, and she's like, Ruby, I think she said it earlier, but Ruby, you can't always run away from your problems. You have to stand your ground and face it head on.
Yeah. That wasn't the message that I twigged into in this one in particular. It was the Yang jumping into the Ursa's jaws to stop it from getting at Ruby.
There was that as well.
The message of, I'll always have your back.
Yeah.
So, that being said...
Don't run away from your problems, and I'll always have your back.
Yeah.
Those two messages. Both are important. So moving into this episode.
Yeah. This one starts with... It started with... I remember it started with Nora. It's about time, and she's... I'm gonna say Nora is fitting in less and less well with her super zaniness.
Yeah, it's becoming quickly tonally just
Yeah.
clashing. Uh,
Mm. But yeah, they're walking through a tunnel. We don't know where the tunnel is or why it's there, but there's a tunnel, and they go through and come out the other side, and hey, it's Mistral. It's Mistral, not Haven.
Welcome to Mistral. Look out, and you see all these beautiful concept arts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful in Chinese
Yeah.
and concept art.
Yeah. We're going to spend so much time in these environments they didn't bother to animate. It's going to be great.
Yeah, perfect. Uh, so like, oh wow, it's so beautiful. All right, well, let's go to Haven.
Yeah. Let's see if they animate that. Yeah.
Who knows? We'll find out.
In absolute fairness, I cannot imagine how infuriating it would be to animate those environments with the cliffs and everything.
Oh no, it's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Before that, we cut over to Weiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Weiss is all like, she's, oh, sorry for the trouble, Mr. Plain Man, because you have to work so hard to avoid any sort of detection. He's like, hey, you're paying, so like it's all cool.
Mm.
And she hears a distress call, like an SOS over the radio. Oh no, our ship's down. We're under attack. Please send help. And pilot's like, and he just kind of starts to steer the ship.
Let's not go that way. Let's go this way.
Yeah. And so she's like, we're going to help them, right? He's like, no. I'm a cargo ship. I can't fight them. And besides, if we heard that, somebody else probably heard it too. So it's fine.
It's someone else's problem.
Weiss, and Weiss is like, but they'll die. And he's like, it's not my problem. They'll probably be rescued, probably, but we can't do anything. And my ship, my rules.
Yeah.
Which is interesting considering Weiss's character. Of she's free from her father, but even then, there's this moment where she still can't do what she wants, which is to go out and save them.
Mm.
And I just thought that was kind of a small, interesting character moment.
Yeah, it's basically she had all the authority in the world technically, but it was her dad's, and he used all of that on her to stop her from doing what she wanted. Now she has no authority whatsoever. She's free to do whatever she wants, but what she can do is
limited.
Much.
Yeah. It's an interesting little bit, and that's all we see from Weiss this episode.
Yep.
That's all we really need to see. We know she's headed to Mistral. Mistral. I like saying Mistral. It sounds fancier.
Did we go to Menagerie next or to Haven? Whatever.
I think we went to Haven, but
it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
We'll do
order of
Haven
events.
And everything in
order of events in this one doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go to Haven, and hey, so we're at Haven now. Boy, it sure's quiet around here. Well, yeah, school's not in session. Yeah, and so Crow gets up in front. He's like, "All right, everybody, get your weapons out. We're just gonna burst into Leo Hart's office."
Yeah.
It's Leo Hart or Leon Hart or something. Lionheart. There
Leonardo Lionheart.
Yeah, Lionheart, whatever.
For added alliterative appeal.
You're a lion. I get it.
Mm. Yeah.
The cowardly lion. So he kicks open the door, sees Leonhart. They're both he falls. Lionheart falls, and it's kind of a mirror of Wizard of Oz meeting of the Cowardly Lion. In which
that's what they were doing. Okay, I thought it was
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, no, that's kind of a reference to the original meeting of the Cowardly Lion. And so they meet up with him, and he's like, well, it was time already? Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad, my bad. And I kind of immediately was, when he was just like, oh, well, it's time, I felt like that's weird and suspicious. Because I know that he's obviously, a little bit we got at the end of the last season, there's a little bit up with him. So they go into his office and they're like, "Look, we need to know. We need to rally together, and we need to get the Spring Maiden. And
Where's your staff that's supposed to be defending the relic?
We kind of need the relic."
Yeah, and he says they're away for I forget why, but they're away. Defending the kingdom or something. I presume. Like
basically he explains because of that whole thing that happened with all that despair being broadcast on TV.
Yeah, the fall of Beacon was broadcast worldwide in just about every home in the world, essentially, because the CCT. So, yeah, that panic and everything that was in Vale, that was happening all over the world. And Mistral has a lot of territory. That makes it really hard to defend all these outlying settlements. So, they had to just pull out all the stops to defend their territory. It wasn't exactly sunshine and roses for anyone on that day, is the point he's trying to get at.
And Crow explains that you need the power of a maiden to open the area that allows you to access the relic.
Yeah.
And so, we could go and get the Spring Maiden and make sure she's safe and make sure they can't just open the place up and get the relic. But kind of a problem with the Spring Maiden is she disappeared. Responsibility was too much for her, and so she just kind of ran away. And Crow's like, well, yeah, I kind of found out she got picked up by bandits, and my sister specifically.
Yeah.
So I know their home. I know their headquarters, their home base. But my sister's been busy forming a huge tribe of bandits, lots and lots of people, and we should. And Lionheart's like, yeah, that's great, awesome. Let's I'll work. We can get about a good amount of people. 2 weeks.
We can get together a hunting party and we can get this all sorted within a few weeks. And Crow's like, no, we need to do this right now. This is, and it's like
this is a constant danger and threat.
Yeah, and Lionheart argues we can't do that. We have to do this properly. We only get one shot at doing this. If we fuck it up, then her tribe is just going to spread out, and we're never going to find her again. Or at least not enough time before the enemy finds her, presumably.
Yeah. And Lionheart's like, well, I got to convince other people that I need the hunters and huntresses more than they do, huntsmen, and it's just not going to work out. I'm sorry. And Crow's like, fine, well then we'll do it ourselves. And RWBY chimes in and is like, well then, I think it's RWBY that was the one that chimed in. What about Cinder? She came from Haven.
John asked about Cinder.
It was John. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of them.
Because he has a venture going on.
Yeah. John's never going to stop. So he's like, what about Cinder? What do you know? And he's like, well, all their papers were forgeries. Sorry, can't really help. That was a dead lead. And oh, fine, whatever. And so they all just leave. And then a small little W appears on his desk, holographic. It's like, it's like, oh, you really need to work on your improvisational skills.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was just about the whole head. It was, it's fake, forged, yep. The rest of it was solid. The explanations, I actually bought all of that. That's probably the real reason.
Yeah.
But that last bit, no, you get the impression that, he's been in their pocket for quite some time.
Yeah, there's a lot more to what's going on. So then, I guess...
I think we go to Blake next.
Yeah, things are happening with Blake. Blake was all...
So, Daddy Panther is all angry, and Son is equally all angry, for reasons that they don't explain and didn't actually show at any point, even in the preview trailers. But essentially... the two Fox dudes and the red cloaks and stuff with the little Foxy is poking out.
Mhm.
They were. That's probably really racist now that I think about it, is to do that over your head in this setting. That's
Yeah.
probably really, really racist.
You could, like, if you were like Neo, though, and you couldn't talk and you wanted to convey information, this would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, so they had a meeting with those two, and they basically just pawned off all the blame on Ilya and said, "Oh, how terrible! She must be an agent of Adam. How scandalous! This is truly distressing. We will do everything we can to apprehend this evildoer." Presumably, something like that. And Blake's like, it's fine, don't worry about it. And she goes outside for some air and sends away the god with the not great voice acting and says, can I just get some time? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, not.
You gonna say something?
No. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, bad voice acting.
Yeah. You're not gonna get, like, I don't know, Michelle Ruff or something for God's Woman number 3 or whatever the character name is. I don't know why I went to Michelle Ruff, but I was trying to think of a voice actor that they haven't used yet. So Ilya pops up and says, "Hey, you should have to better security." And well, no, Blake sent security away. What did you expect them to do exactly? But yeah. So Blake says, yeah, we're just gonna, like, tell everyone in Menagerie about all this stuff that we found out, this scroll that we found that you dropped, and we're gonna point out that this was all those Fox dudes, and everything's, you're just gonna be pariahs. So, sorry, this is gonna suck for you, but this needs to be done, and you shouldn't be siding with Adam. And Ilya's like, it's not gonna work. Sorry. Which makes you think, yeah, they're going to turn this on them somehow. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And says, you should just leave Menagerie, Blake. Just go. Blake says, make me. Yeah. And Ilya says, oh. No, Blake says, you're going to have to make me. And Ilya says, I know. That was a good read, by the way. I want to point out that I know exact right amount of, like, resignation of, I don't want to do this, but I have to.
It was really good, and it was a good character moment for Blake, because Blake's standing her ground.
Yeah.
Because she's given the option to run again.
Yeah.
But she's not going to anymore.
Yeah, and you have to assume she also knows, okay, she's saying the plan's not going to work. That means they have something in the works. Something is going to go wrong with this.
Yeah.
I know that now, but I'm still not going to run. So, that's progress.
Yeah. Very good episode for a lot of progress, actually. Progress. Like I say in American, like, progress.
Yeah. Do you want to do Yang next, or do you want to go back to Haven?
Let's just cover Yang stuff real quick.
Because Haven has, like, Yang stuff is special.
So Yang is she's at she's stopped over at, like, a gas station.
Yep.
And she's like, "Aren't you too young to drink?" And she's like, "I just want water. It's pretty hot outside." Just like, oh, he's like, oh, yeah, right away. And this drunk guy comes, like, kind of, struggling to walk. Yeah.
So Douchey is all. Yeah.
Let's call him Douchey the Rat. Douchey the Rat is walking over, and he's like, "Boy, you got all the right curves and all the right. You're just right.
Yeah, you're not too fat. You're not too skinny. Yeah, just
you
right.
You look like a proper hunt. I can't believe you're too young to drink. Like, that's a BS." It's like, you can tell he's just kind of drunk.
You say that's a big ass. Is that what you just said?
No, BS.
Oh,
but you can take that. But he would say that too, so it's fine either way.
Yeah, she's not too skinny. Remember, that was important.
So she's like, She turns around and she just like punches him, and he goes ping ponging.
He goes for the hair, and then she punches him.
Yeah, he goes for the hair, and then she's ping pongs in a very cartoony style that I wasn't expecting, but it's also great because
you don't see that very much in the show nowadays. Like they did it in very, very early stages, and then they stopped because it looked terrible. It wasn't as bad.
It worked well in this instance. I thought it was great, and the quote-unquote barkeep, gas station attendant, turns around. He's like, "Yeah, he's been troubling me for days. This one's on the house. Hands at the water." And he's like, "What you in here? What you going around here for, anyways?" He's like, "I'm looking for somebody." It's like, "Well, only person you could possibly be looking around here is Raven." Yeah, I know. He's like, "Oh."
And then the audience is like, "Oh."
Oh.
Because everyone that reasonably assumed, hey, the end of season 4, she's obviously going to be going to RWBY. It's not like she would just turn her back on her sister again. And then after the trailer where she said she'll always have RWBY's back and she wouldn't just abandon her, she's totally doing that again.
The point I want to make is that there were two things to take away from that short. One is don't run away from your problems, and the other was I'll always have your back. So in this way, Yang's going towards Raven because she's trying to not run away from her problems and face it head on and stand her ground.
Yeah.
She will have RWBY's back, but I think there is also a point where she feels that RWBY doesn't necessarily need her as much as she needs to kind of sort herself out.
Yeah, but the "I'll always have your back" doesn't quite have as much effect if you have to add the caveat eventually. If you have to say that afterwards, it doesn't really mean as much.
Well, like, she did always have her back for quite some time, and then that whole thing in season 3 happened where she didn't really have RWBY's back
at all,
and didn't help RWBY when she needed it, and now she's in a position where she's like, if she's going to be able to have RWBY's back, she needs to kind of sort herself out first, because she doesn't want to probably hurt RWBY's feelings again. But
I would argue Yang's problems that she's going through right now have absolutely nothing to do with Raven. Absolutely nothing.
But maybe she thinks she'll be able to, I don't know, sort herself out by going through that. She has her own journey she's going on right now. So, I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. But I don't think it's out of character.
I'll say it wasn't unexpected. It was unexpected, is what I'm trying to say, and trying to with words and but it wasn't out of character. It makes sense still, which is the most important point. But it was definitely unexpected. That they would go that way. Like at the end of season 4, you got the impression, hey, the team's coming back together. Nope. Not really, no.
Yeah. And I feel like also if she does go back to RWBY, her character progress is going to halt for a while. And this is kind of the path that leads to more character progression down the line. But it's very much open to interpretation and debate.
Yeah.
But I am happy
that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of discussions that could be had about like how the characters' directions are going for this season, and that's a very good thing to have for a show. Yeah.
This is a very interesting choice, and I really like that we can talk about the implications of it. I like it much better than if she just went back to RWBY, because it makes it more interesting for her character. Adds a layer that wasn't there before.
Yeah, a layer that says bitch. I mean,
I don't.
You remember what my reaction was at the end of season 3, I hope. I was not happy about that when that happened. Yeah. I haven't softened on that particularly. So, yeah. And this has not helped.
So, we go back and we see, well, Yang leaves, obviously, and she's getting on her bike, and Juicy the rat is like, hey. She's like, are we really going to continue doing this? He's like, I heard you were looking for somebody.
And I guess the indication we have that he's a bandit is that he has a gap tooth. Or whether he has a missing tooth.
I'm pretty sure Yang knocked that out. But...
It's entirely possible. Like, I can kind of understand the cartoony physics, because if that had actually happened, and they just played it straight, he would have been a pile of broken bones and blood on the floor. So, okay.
Aura.
Yeah.
It's kind of the thing with Aura. Didn't stop the momentum, and it didn't kill him.
Those are some sturdy-ass walls, then. That's what that is. Fucking Christ.
Reinforce everything with dust. That's how it works. There you go.
Nuclear
Boom.
bunker gas station is what that thing is. God damn.
Yeah. It's tough as nails, and then tougher then. This gas station used to be a castle in the ancient days, but now it's just a gas station.
And a bar.
It was
somehow.
And a bar.
Like,
we serve water and beer.
A bar at a gas station.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yang always has to go to a bar.
At a gas station.
Think about Yang's first short.
I know.
From the very beginning.
But a bar at a gas station.
If Yang's there, there has to be a bar, and she has to not be able to drink from the bar except for water. That's just how it works.
And a strawberry sundaes.
Yeah.
One of those little umbrellas.
Tiny umbrella.
Yeah.
It's a gas station, so they're not very
they don't have
looking umbrellas. They're just kind of no. Bartenders us guests can go and make have a toothpick and just put on a piece of toilet paper. There you go. That's your umbrella.
Yeah.
Toilet paper umbrella.
That works.
So
we seem to have lost track a little bit.
Yeah. Enough of Yang's stuff. We're moving on to good old Crow.
Basically,
and
the Stinger scene from fucking season 4.
Yeah.
It's literally that scene. They just do that scene.
Yeah. And then later on, knock on the door for the place where Team Ranger is staying. And I know. I don't want to say.
My eye roll came through the glare on my glasses. Yeah.
I don't want to say all their names. I'm just gonna call it Ranger, whatever. So they're there. Ruby's in a room, and there's a knock on the door. This is suspicious. Open the door, and there's little Oscar boy, and little Oscar boy's like, "Hey, is there a Ruby Rose here?" And who's asking? Because suspicious. And she's like, yeah, well, her uncle, and Uncle Crow it's I found him. He just wanders in. He's like, yeah, her uncle is, And he's like, I did it. I found him. And he falls into the couch. He's like, yeah, go me. I found him.
Good job, Vic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very good job.
And, it was like, what's going on here? Can't a girl read her comics in peace?
Why is your version of RWBY British?
It's not British. I just may have gone a little bit British because I was going off Drunk Crow.
Okay.
That's just how.
Why is your Drunk Crow British?
Most drunk voices I do are British. It's because I've seen a lot of drunk British people on TV.
Okay, fair enough. So. Yeah, she wants to read her comics in peace, which I forgot she totally reads comics.
Yeah.
And Oscar is like, hey, you have silver eyes. Remember the first episode of the show? Where Oscar said that? Yeah. It's referencing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good reference. Not really. Kind of. Anyways. Hi, I'm Oscar Pine. You might know me as Professor Ozpin. And oh,
I found him.
Yeah. Yep,
that happened.
Drunk Crow is great.
Yeah. You
Drunk
can
Crow is
see
best
why
Crow.
they wanted Jeff Ramsey to play him. Not you wouldn't, but
General you. All right. So overall, just the
Opening.
visuals in this. Yeah, we saw the opening.
It was okay.
I like this opening. I like this opening a lot more than the last one.
I like the music a lot. The music was great. Music was great, 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 great. A lot more punch to it. Felt a lot more its own thing than just standard anime theme.
Felt more like RWBY.
Yeah. The animation to go with it was somewhat ordinary. It was just, hey, it's a fight between these characters.
There were some good visuals in there. Like the one with Lionheart at his desk and everything.
Yeah.
And you see the guy behind him and all those like tendrils and stuff. And but for the most part, I still think like visually, season 3 has the best opening.
Yeah.
But music-wise, this was a lot better than season 4. It was a good sort of compromise, I guess. It wasn't bad by any means. It was just.
I did like the end visual of RWBY, then Weiss, then Blake, then Yang all running alongside each other, which is not going to happen in this season. I'm just going to point out. I think they're all going to meet up at the end of this season, if that.
Yeah.
But that was cool. And then they just sort of scatter into different colored petals and such. That was cool.
I could see Weiss maybe meeting up with them in an episode or two.
But Yang won't and Blake won't, because they are in different parts of the world entirely.
Yeah, but well, no, Yang's headed towards, because they're going to be going to the bandit camp, and Yang's headed towards, so that's where they're going to meet up.
When are they going to go to the bandit camp, though? We know Yang is going to go there immediately, and Lionheart wants to stall because he wants Watt to be able to get there faster. Mm-hmm. So, are we thinking they're going to just ignore that and just go there? Then
yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's what Crow was saying. We're fine. We'll just go ourselves. So
I don't think he said that. I think he said, "I need a drink," and then just left to figure his own shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see him drunk with Oscar. So
yeah. So I think he found him. And Blake is going to be probably just staying and having a political battle of sorts, of trying to de-seat the White Fang. And yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it might be that they end up just being on the outs of Menagerie by the end of next episode. That's what I think is going to happen. And that's why they're in the place that doesn't really look like the mainland of Menagerie. It looks like an outskirt sort of village, just built on the water.
I don't see a reason for her going to Mistral yet, so I don't think she's going to go to Mistral for a long time. Overall, episode had a lot of good character moments, I feel. Just in general. There's the Yang stuff, which is up for debate, but it was still a good character moment in terms of moving her character at least in a direction, which compared to most of the series, she hasn't been moving anywhere. So whether or not the direction is necessarily good, there's progress being made. Weiss had a good character moment. Little baby boy Oscar got to meet up with everyone, and I found him. We got this to Lionheart, and Lionheart is he's my least favorite type of character. So this will be fun. Just I don't like the really super cowardy characters, like. And so I knew from the get-go I wasn't going to necessarily like him, but I'm hoping to understand his character a lot more as we grow through this. So, yeah.
Like, there was a point way back in the day, probably. Also, he has the Tin Man as the head of one school, the Cowardly Lion as the head of another. Why wasn't Crow the head of...
He mentioned he was a teacher, so
he was a teacher, but at Patch. That's where he taught RWBY.
So like I mean,
maybe that was the plan, and that got forestalled by this.
Or maybe the headmaster of Vacuo is a flying monkey. That's from Wizard of Oz, the flying monkeys. There you go.
I'm trying to think who else from the Wizard of Oz would be.
Toto could be a dog faunus.
I'd be okay with that.
Oh.
Though Toto is Sly. Just one.
Yeah, I know, but they could just retcon that. They have no problem with that.
Yeah, they don't have a problem with retcon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So that's pretty much the episode. So thanks for watching. Actually, any last thoughts you want to mention real quick?
I immediately liked this episode a lot more than most of season 4 because I felt like stuff was happening, and that is like because I was kind of after season 4 I was feeling ambivalent, and I'm glad to see that now we're actually making progress, and I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah, progress, things happening. It's all good.
Yeah, not all of it's good, but as long as it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to edit so much and just cut out all the roboty bits. It's gonna suck. All right. So, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with the next episode. We might do the World of Remnants. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Nah. I don't think we're gonna be doing RWBY Chibi either. So.
Oh God, no. We're not bothering with RWBY Chibi.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's finished. So.
We're not. Yeah, we're not gonna do any of that, but we are going to keep up with the episodes. We might do a World of Remnants if people want to see it, but because that is fun to try to break down the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.